Welcome and thank you everyone for being here. I'm SunDej. I'm an independent artist, and the purpose of this Manifesting Through Music conference is to connect independent artists with industry professionals so that you can make your music dreams a reality. Today, I have Antoine with me, and I want to say thank you for being here. Just let everyone know a little bit about what you do and how you're serving the artist community.
Yeah, well, my name is Antoine. Thank you for having me. It's an absolute
Absolutely.
pleasure. I really respect what you're doing for the community and providing this platform for everybody. Um, I have been in the music industry for about 20 years. I've been doing music for about 20 years. I started off as a beat maker. Started off making beats on a lot of producers. Y'all probably remember MTV Music Generator. I'm that old. And, I was making beats on there, started learning guitar, taught myself guitar and bass. And it really just took off from there. I started teaching myself music production. This is back in like the Lil Jon days, 2005. And I started basically learning every part of the kitchen when it comes to cooking up music. I did I did some work with a music group back in 2010 called Coast Nation back in Florida. We were really doing a lot. We had some dope artists. We were doing a lot of dope events. And from there, that's when I realized, hey, I'm more than just a music producer. I'm more than just a musician. I really enjoyed this business side of things, and the people on the team really valued my input on different things in that aspect, business and marketing and things like that. And so I started to become obsessed with it a little bit. And one thing in particular that really stood out for me was branding. But before I get into that, as of recently, I've worked with a lot of dope artists and done a lot of dope things. As far as I did a project with Kanye for a little bit. I worked with Dame Dash. That was as of recent. But I really value artists that understand where they're going. And one big part of that is branding, because branding is more than just, when people think about branding, they think, oh, I gotta have the visuals going, I gotta have the logos, I gotta have the websites, I gotta have the banners and all that stuff, social media looking a certain way. And it's very important, but it's not everything. It's an amalgamation of things that make branding what it is. And branding is your value, is how the world sees you as an artist. And it's honestly the most important thing. When record labels sign you, branding is the first thing they do. That is the absolute first thing. You got a lot of Tekashi 6ix9ines, that, they were one way 2 years ago, but as soon as they get signed, it's like, wait, where are the tattoos and the stuff? Where all that stuff come from? The colors and all of that stuff is like psychologically, it moves people psychologically in ways they don't even realize, and colors and stuff like that. For example, different colors represent different emotions and who you are. You know what I'm saying? And it's scientific. It can get really scientific, but you got artists like Drake, who, I mean, the dude's an icon. He is a master of branding. If you want to know why he wins so much, why this man can't lose, it's because he has mastered branding. Same thing with Rihanna. I mean, she's she is an icon as well, and they have just mastered branding. One thing that artists need to realize is they need to understand who they are. That's what branding is. And that's something that I personally, I haven't realized early in my career. That's something that I kind of underestimated, because it's just easy to get lost into the visual side of it. And that's it, you know, because not a lot of people dive into branding like this. But you got to understand who you are. And one way to do that, you got to have a vision. You got to have, I mean, because at the end of the day, you're a business, and you got to have a vision for what you want, who you are. You got to have a purpose. You got to have a mission. You know, I'm sure a lot of people have heard of a mission statement before when they, you know, think of business and stuff like that. Well, yeah, you got to have all of these different things. And when it comes to people becoming fans of you, they're not going to go to your shows if they don't trust. There's no trust there. Like, they got to trust who you are. Like, hey, is this somebody I should be listening to? You know what I'm saying? Because when you think about it, humans, we don't even see anything as valuable until other people say it's valuable. Like, if 10 people over there, they like, hey, you got to check this artist out. Well, we're going to check them out then, because there's that trust there. You know, if Kanye or somebody, if Pat Metheny just went to Ralph's grocery store and just played in front of there, like, yeah, he'd gather a crowd like real quick, a whole crowd, but because people know him, they trust him. He's got that longevity, you know, he's got that history, you know, in the jazz world, and people know who he is, so they're gonna stop and they're gonna listen, you know. But if you haven't taken the time to really build who you are, what you're about, your mission, things like that, then, you know, it's going to be hard for people to want to stay engaged with what you got going on. Well, first thing is first, you got to understand who you are, because that's the main, like, as far as record labels are concerned, not everyone's trying to get signed to a label, but that's what they look for. Like, when they're sitting at the round table and they're, you know, they just signed this artist, they're like, all right, we got to start branding, whatever. It's like, you got to know who you are, what you're about. You know, you got artists like The Weeknd. He's the party guy. He's the, you know, the one getting turned up and faded and all that stuff. Drake, lover boy, you know what I'm saying? But he'll still, you know, he'll talk his smack, you know, at the same time. You know, who are you? What are you about? And like a lot of these rappers today, it's like, we all know what they're about. They're about the street life, the gang life, and things like that. The most important thing for artists is, like, keeping in mind that you want your fans, not followers. Followers and fans are different. You want your fans to be like you. They gotta want to be like you, talk like you, walk like you. And so that it's all about that consistency. So who are you? What are you about? What kind of artists are you? What do you represent? You know, hard to deviate from that. It can get confusing for artists, for fans to really follow, you know. So you got to be clear about who you are and what your direction is. Having a story, you know, is important, because that encompasses facts and feelings that are, you know, it's a narrative that, you know, encompasses the facts and feelings created by your brand. You know, you got to have a story. You know, what's your story? You know, and heritage. You know, like Coca-Cola. And I'm comparing other brands like businesses to music because it's a business as well. Like Coca-Cola's got that heritage for a long time. Like it's undeniable. You know, so if I showed you like a bottle, an empty bottle, just plain bottle, and then I sat a Coca-Cola next to it, which one are you gonna pick? You're gonna pick the Coca-Cola.
The Coke for sure.
So that's what it means. Like when it comes to branding, that is branding. Like, are you a plain clear bottle, or are you a Coca-Cola? You trying to put out in the world, you know, and stick with that, and really just connect. Like a big part of it all is just connecting with people and seeing if it's resonating, you know. There's always time to reconstruct everything and rebuild. You know, that's why a lot of people rebrand. That's why a lot of businesses rebrand. You know, if it's not working the way you want, like look at Allstate, look at Old Spice. You know what I'm saying? Like they forever, it was just like this brand where it was like for old people, it was like for old dudes. And then what did they do? They totally reconstructed their brand personality. So now it's funny. Now it's like, if you got Terry Crews and I forgot the other dude, but it was genius. It was genius. And what happened? They skyrocketed. You know what I'm saying? So experiment, get out there and just really dig deep into who you are and what you want. You know what I'm saying? And start creating music that resonates with you. And, you know, as far as me, I've helped a lot of artists, you know, just figuring out, consulting them and figuring out the different problems they're having and helping them along the way. You know, I've done consultations and stuff like that. I haven't really pushed it as much because my focus was on music, but the more I learn about branding and stuff like that, the more I'm just like, hey, I think this is something I really want to do. So if artists simply just have questions they want to ask me, you know, I'm always open to talking and you know, getting on a call and discussing.
Yes. Please,
You know?
go ahead. I was just about to say, go ahead and give them your information and whatever socials you spend the most time on so that they can get connected with you once this is over.
Absolutely. So I'm definitely on Instagram a lot. You can find me on there, but you can hit up my website, AntoineDonmusic.com. That's ANTOINE music.com. I know a lot of people can't spell Antoine. But yeah, you can find me on there. Hit me up on my email. I have an email list that people can sign up to, and you can find all of that on there. But yeah, I'm on Instagram a lot. Antoine Don Music. You can find me on there, and I'm always open. I'm around the clock. I don't care if it's 3 a.m. I got a sleep schedule now, but I still, if it's about the business, if it's about helping people, I'm naturally just a teacher. I love helping and teaching people and guiding people. So yeah, I'm always open to discussion.
Yay. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here today and sharing your knowledge on personal branding. I learned a lot, so I know that the artists tuning in and musicians tuning in are going to learn so much as well. But thank you all again for tuning in. For those of you who watched and stayed to the end, once again, I'm SunDej hosting the Manifesting Through Music Conference. And make sure you all tune in. Let me slow down. Make sure you all tune in for the next segment. Thank you. Bye.
Right.